Hello, I'm Philip Stoten. I'm on the SCOOPstudio at Productronica 2017. I'm joined by Nori from SAKI and Keith from YXLON to talk about where we are in the X-ray market. What I want to do with these process-focused roundtables is really understand where we are at the moment and what's challenging you from your customers. So if I start with you, Nori, what's going on in the market and what are customers asking for that's keeping you awake at night?
Okay, for X-ray we got a lot of demands recently, and the demand is emerging quite fast. But on the other hand, from the technical side, we always have a problem about the speed and also the dose. So these two are, especially when the automotives are starting to use more and more X-rays, these two will be quite a problem in the future.
Okay, and they're demanding that you make this a process that happens at line speed, I guess.
Yeah, that's right, absolutely.
So that's a big challenge. Keith, when you look at it from your point of view, data, accuracy, what are people asking you, and what's keeping your engineers busy?
Well, we have basically three different things that keep our engineers busy. The first one is a lot of features are becoming smaller and smaller, so they're actually challenging the technology at one end. And then we have components that are harder and harder to see through, like the IGBTs that have big copper heat sinks in them, and the guys want to have a really good idea of the voiding that's happening in the connections inside, because obviously these things are generating a lot of heat, hence the big heat sink, and if they're not moving that heat through, then they're going to fail in service. And a lot of them are on wind farms that are out in the ocean and a lot of other places where you don't want a failure. So from a technology point of view, they're the two. And Industry 4.0 is the other big thing that we're seeing, because everybody now wants connectivity, and they want even at-line or offline machines to be part of the, let's call it, management information system umbrella.
Yeah. So Nori, when you look at that smart factory, that Industry 4.0 thing, people want that data that's actionable, but they also want traceability. Are you able to connect into those MES systems and provide that data? And what are you looking at in terms of more intelligence for those systems?
Yes, we have X-ray, but we also have a 2DOI, 3DOI, SPI, so we aim to connect everything into anybody's system. So not only the MEMS, but also the systems that the pick-and-place manufacturers are creating recently. We try to align our equipment, everything into those systems.
Okay. And because you have those other technologies beyond X-ray, are you then looking at using data to decide which tests you need to do, those kind of hybrid solutions?
Yes. So in the future, when it comes to the SMT line, you have to compare the SPI along with the AOI or maybe the X-ray. So you have to compare all the volume or the XY axis data or whatever. So these data should be very efficient in the future to make the production more leveled up.
Keith, when you look at what's going on in the connected factory, smart factory, Industry 4.0, whatever we call it, you're involved in lots of the standards, lots of what's going on with Hermes, what's going on with CFX, but also in the smart loop feedback processes. What do you see as the key elements to get that moving forward, and what's the role of a company like YXLON in that whole process?
Wow, that's an interesting question, Phil. We have a team of engineers, R&D guys, business development guys, and also let's call them a product manager, purely looking at connectivity. And we have put a slogan out here that basically we challenge the industry because we think we can connect to anything that's out there now. It helps because we have an open source architecture in our own system. But there are a lot of things out there happening at the moment. I mean, Hermes is doing a great job. It's now 24, 25 partners, and it's across the board. Obviously, as an offline or an at-line solution, we're looking at it in three different ways. One is taking information from guys like this on an inline X-ray and using offline X-ray as a verification system, which effectively is what the product that we're calling Smart Link, and it's a one-way link. And then we have Smart Loop, which takes data either from inline X-ray or inline AOI, and not only can check the boards, and decide what's good and what's bad, but also throw it back into the management information system. And whether we do that directly to the MIS system, or we go back through the let's say the link where we're getting the information from, is a sort of a two-part solution, and we're looking at both at the moment.
Yeah, and I think that's what you have to do, and you talked about open architecture. I think that's really important. It's, Nori, from your point of view, it's important that you're able to communicate with every placement machine, every printer, everybody else. Do you have that open architecture, and do you have that kind of spirit of collaboration, if you like?
Yes. We have an open architecture, and we always are open to connect with any other equipment. So we, not only the Hermes, we cooperate with the ELF that's coming up recently, and not only those, but also the each and every system that the mounter manufacturers are creating.
Yeah, and it's important to be open. And for me, the key for you guys is to be able to combine that communication with your deep domain expertise. So, being really good at X-ray, but understanding how it fits in the big picture. I think that's a challenge that all equipment manufacturers have going forward. Would you agree, Keith?
It's the challenge, but also it's the thing that a lot of companies are focused on. And when 4.0 started, it was almost people looking for a commercial advantage over their competitors. And it's now a system where everybody's looking to collaborate to give the customer what they want, which is giving us I won't say a completely level playing field yet, but it's much leveler than it was about a year ago.
Yeah, and I think if everybody can communicate, that domain expertise becomes the key selling point. Gentlemen, thanks for taking the time to chat. Thank you very much, and enjoy the rest of the show.
Thank you.
Thank you.